So on the CyberZeN side, we have TB, Advent, Savage, which is my favorite word, Misuki, and Zoking. We are into knife, which we're not going to cast because it's the bloody knife round.
Indeed it is.
Wait a minute. TB got backstabbed by one of his teammates. That's hilarious.
And still.
And they still won.
And they still crushed. I was just going to say, yeah, you really want to try to start on the CT side here, especially against a team like NaVi. You don't want to give them that CT start. Kind of, you'd be kind of throwing it up in the air there based on who wins the pistol or the first few rounds. That if they do start with a good economy, you're probably going to be screwed because that means Guardians on the orb quickly. They get the setups fast. But here we go. James, it's time. It is time for the pistol.
What is it time for, Dan?
Between CyberZeN and NaVi on Mirage. Map 1.
So, CyberZeN starting on the CT side, and their flag has been updated, so we can celebrate that. Never mind.
NL, mates, not live. Now we're live.
No, we're not live yet.
Are we live, James?
Edward says off. They're waiting for StarX to be moved into the coach
James
position. Dan.
Are we on or are we off?
We're off, Dan. We're off. Do you know why,
I would
Dan?
like to be on right now.
We're off because we're not on, Dan. Once we are no longer off, Dan, we shall be on.
And if you guys can hear some banging in the background, that is some construction. There is construction.
I was going to say that is Cadian.
I would never forget that, actually. That was great.
Oh,
that was
God.
great. Was it Cadian on the analyst there saying... let's move past that one. Good old Cadian. Brilliant. Still not on, James. But we are smoothly...
We have Glidicam.
Making our way through the map. No, not anymore.
We have Glidicam.
Back in the eyes of Savage.
If I lock Makalele in a cupboard, perhaps I can play for G2.
Well, that's assuming that he is able to get here in time, because he's still traveling, right?
Well, I mean, if he doesn't get here in time now, then I'll be surprised. But if he does, perhaps I can lock him in the cupboard. Tweet me, yes or no, should I lock Makalele in a cupboard so I can take his place in G2? And if they say no, I'll lock them in a cupboard as well. We'll just make a mixed team.
I think there's something about imprisonment in the Convention of Human Rights, but...
Pistol time. It's pistol time, Dan. The bomb is moving towards the A site, so it looks like NaVi might be going through the underpass because it would be a long rotation to take the bomb elsewhere, although should things go wrong, who knows what they will do. We'll have to wait and see. Savage is looking for the mid-information through connector.
We have double raid boss. Seized and Edwards rocking the Tech 9 armors, and Zeus is going to get the first kill onto Misuki there in the B app, so that's not even really any useful information at this point for CyberZeN. This is going to be pretty rough now, depending on what NaVi decide to do for them to hold, because they are already a man down.
Ooh, I didn't check actually if we're playing on the Valve imposed times, which I would assume that we probably are, but we'll have to double check in the next round anyway. Savage is going to go down in that connector area, so he's not spotted much, and Zoking is going to be dispatched of as well. The Julie's being picked up by Flamey. They are not the best weapons in the game, but the range will probably be superior to the Glock, so we'll pick them up for the time being. 5 versus 2. TB is going to get shot in the head through the smoke, and the options are quite limited now for CyberZeN, and the final 2 will go down. I always wonder about those spots, like, you know, you have a player with the defuse kit, for example. Do you try and leg it for the next round? You never really see people do, but I wonder if it's something, if it's even a consideration.
I suppose it really depends on, you know, how CyberZeN choosing to play next round, because this is what I was interested in. Are they going to go for the force buy or not? Because this is like, of course, you know, CyberZeN are from the Chinese region, the Asian region. So, you know, what are their decision making? What is their decision making like? A lot of teams would go for a force buy, but they're actually saving their money. And interestingly, we've got 2 AKs for NaVi, which is quite. I mean, you don't always see that actually. Teams will often try to avoid having more than 1 AK in a round like this.
It might be because CyberZeN are a relatively unknown factor for NaVi. So they're like, okay, we don't know what to expect from these guys. Just in case they try anything funky, let's just go for the big guns. The 2 Galils as well, they've really gone for the full buy here, have NaVi. CyberZeN going to get 1 kill so far onto Seized, and Advent's going to pick up that Galil, so we'll see if he can save that for another round. They're
just taking liberties at the moment. NaVi just pushing pretty much everywhere, trying to look for individual aim duels. Again, it's not really necessarily an ideal play to actually make, because you could potentially give away a weapon to us, you know, a setup from 2 or 3 CTs quite easily, which did actually happen to Seized. But that actually shows me that NaVi are already showing a lack of respect to a degree against CyberZeN. So I'm curious if this will actually bite them in the backside, or whether or not CyberZeN, who might be able to save at least a Galil, will be able to throw a wrench in the works here and punish the hubris of NaVi.
Well, Advent soon lose that Galil. So it's Savage left with the Deeg. And if he manages to get some engagements here, maybe he could get some work done, because Edwards, Zeus, and Flamey are all one Deeg away from going down. We can see Guardians just holding safe passage for the moment. Ooh, and he gets the one Deeg onto Guardian as well. So if he keeps his gun out, I think he's probably going to try and retrieve the gun in a second. Please go and retrieve the gun. No?
So limited investment, and they actually were managing to pick up a couple kills there. That's actually a pretty big deal.
I don't understand why he didn't go for the gun there for the sake of saving a Deagle. But there we go.
Hey, well, now we will start to... we're beginning to get to the point where we can see CyberZen's plans, but it's just one more round until we get there, and their money's looking quite healthy already, so we can assume they're going to bring out the big guns. The AWP should make an appearance in the next round. But first things first, if they are able to get another couple kills in this round, then they will have, effectively kind of kept NaVi honest with their economy, not allow them to run away with things too much. And here is the push now from NaVi, trying to clear out the A-bomb site. A much better approach from NaVi this time around. They run into the stack, and they crush it without any issue. So now just Advent left, and we'll be surprised if he picks up a kill in this position. So NaVi have done a good job in this execution.
Yeah, I really think it was a mistake to not try and retrieve the gun or do more damage for the sake of saving one Deagle when there was a rifle to be collected. But here we go. The buy from CyberZeN is coming out now, because they'll go for that. They went for that double eco. They'll have the AWP and armor, and they'll have lots of nades that they otherwise wouldn't have either. Zoking's going to be the one man with the defuse kit, so we'll have to pay attention to that. Should he go down? Actually, maybe defuse kits should be shown on minimap as well for spectators when they are on the floor.
This is actually really interesting, because the AWP from CyberZeN is immediately going to be apps, and this is not something you would actually expect. Usually, I think that's the least likely position, unless the spawn is, of course, very, very good. And they're going for a big mid-take on the Chinese side. This is a very interesting approach. Some could say, it's somewhat risky, but NaVi, they are known for slow play, and so far they're not walking into the aggressive setup. But there it is. Boom. CyberZeN Savage with the AWP picks up an aggressive kill into the B-apps, and already things are kicking off here. But Guardian on the other side of the map able to do just the same thing. Now it's the 4 versus 4. CyberZeN do have middle, but NaVi is slowly making the play into A now.
Yeah, Zeus, I think, is trying to perhaps run distraction over towards B, but B's actually completely empty. CyberZeN making a read that NaVi not going to go there. So they're concentrating their forces elsewhere. They've seen the bomb now. That's going to be a lot of information for them, but now they've got Guardian to deal with. Looking for a second frag. Can't get it around the smoke. He's got a teammate in for support as well. Edward's gone down elsewhere, though. So it's a 3 versus 2 now, an advantage of CyberZeN. Great flash. Perfect timing to stop Zeus from getting a frag there. The flank coming in from Advent as well.
This is a really interesting situation. We had Misuki, they're able to take down the Lurker, very good cognizance, letting his teammates try to hold on to the A site whilst he just holds that flank for long enough to catch that kill. And now NaVi in a very hard predicament. There is a good flash into the frag from Zeus. This could allow the bomb to be planted, indeed it will, but there it is. Advent letting his presence be known, taking down Guardian, a bit of a free kill there. Zeus looking to make the clutch. 1 versus 1 found, that's exactly how you get it done. Misuki goes down, and now it's all on this 1 versus 1 play, and there is some time here for Advent to try to be sneaky. So he's trying to spam through the smoke to find a defusing Advent, but now Advent's just going to quickly go on the bomb, come off of it again, trying to play around, and boom, straight in the face of Zeus, boosting himself up on that crate, looking over the smoke, and promptly getting rid of the last remaining player there from NaVi. So, expensive round, but they do pick it up.
There is an angle on the B balcony you can hold. That's the tightest. It's like a 2 or 3 pixel crack that goes all the way through to the top of the stairs from underpass, which I think is where that first AWP frag came in. But yeah, you can see they're putting the AWPer over towards B, so they can concentrate the higher numbers elsewhere, which is a very good play. We'll see if NaVi can detect it. I'm quite curious if they're going to rotate the AWP position. You can see Savage going elsewhere. Oh, he's missed a jump there. Guardian, I've never seen him miss that one. Misses a shot as well. Got a bit of information for both teams. They know the AWPer is not over towards B. They know it's a bit of a change in formation for the CT side. Zeus, however, has gone down, so it's an early advantage for CyberZeN once again.
They do lack utility, though, and it's unfortunate Savage missed that shot after failing the jump. He did have an opportunity to pick up a kill there, but at least Zeus will go down for CyberZeN, and NaVi, they know they have middle at the moment. They're making the play in towards B. slowly taking the map control, getting someone in the window room. Edward's up there, so we can see now Mizuki just has to hold this down. Nice peek, good damage done onto Guardian. Not the frag though, but he is still alive, still holding this position, and that's good info now for CyberZeN as they start to rotate. They got 3 players in position here as Na'Vi storm the bomb site. Savage in with a shot there on the AWP. It's good this time, and Na'Vi are suffering.
The bomb was in B apps all this time, but it's now rotating towards the mid area. Quite a precarious movement, though, to be in mid on your own with very limited numbers, but no one's peeking it just yet for CyberZeN. Zoking's in position to perhaps do that, but Guardian's going to take down Savage, and he's going to get traded. So now we've got a 3 versus 1 situation. Still a player towards the A site, although TB, he's in CT at the moment, so maybe he'll see seized. Moving back towards A site, though, there's 30 seconds left. How much work can Seas get done here? We've got Zoking playing a timing peek, and he's going to peek at the right time. That's a bit of a lesson for those of you at home. There's 2 ways to hold an angle, really. One is just to hold the angle the whole time, just staring at it, and one is what Zoking did there, where he basically peeks every 5 seconds or so. So, you know, his opponent, if he gets lucky, will peek, think nobody's there, look elsewhere, then he can come out and get a kill for free.
And this is very cool. I mean, CyberZeN, they survived with 3 players in the last round, so their money's doing a little bit better. They know that Navi's money is weak, but they pick up a second AWP, despite perhaps expecting what is this? A force buy out of Navi. Or not quite a force buy, but just a buy which could prompt a quick aggression into a bomb site. Bit of an execute.
This can always be problematic when you go for these 2 AWPs when your team are on a force or a half buy like this, because if they get a tight quickly and you have to retake with more than 1 AWP, can get a bit precarious, but a bit of damage has been done to Edward. Zoking is on site with an M4. I think he just flashed himself though, and he's not going to get any frags there. The 1 dig from Flamey, and now there's a problem for CyberZeN as Na'Vi start to stream onto the site. Savage with a nice frag there, and TB comes in with another one onto C's. So CyberZeN could do this. Can they stop a plant from coming in though?
Yeah, it's looking tough. Savage gets the shot, but in with a quick headshot is Guardian to do some extra damage. And losing 2 players, not too bad. If they can pick up one of the AWPs that was dropped, yes, they just about managed to do so. They're now with a 3-3 scoreline, and Na'Vi will be in with a big buy. How will the approach be? They are going to be aware that there should be 2 AWPs out on the map now as well, so that could change their setup into more of an execute-based play instead of something that's more slow and based on picks. But that said, it's Guardian. He's going to want to get some picking going, I think. So let's see how this goes for him.
Most of the Na'Vi players headed towards B at the moment, but you can see it's Edward holding a passive position up top mid, so maybe they'll have some aggression a bit later on through the underpass, and then they'll go for a mid take, and that might be it sped up now. That Guardian gets completely smoked off towards the B bomb site. Maybe having a read that CyberZeN will have 1 person playing B looking for a pick, but they're going to have to wait. It's getting re-smoked as well, so Na'Vi pretty much getting shut out of B for the time being.
Yeah, that's a frustrating position to be in as well as the Na'Vi side. They invested a lot of positioning at the start of the round, got completely denied and not really a solid opportunity to abuse. So this is really cool from CyberZeN. They're kind of ahead of the game at the moment. They're stressing Na'Vi out a little bit. Na'Vi now going for a middle take, although CyberZeN don't have any presence there. So they haven't really become aware just yet of what's going on in middle. They can see and hear and of course see the nades that are going in there, but whether it's going to be A or B is completely unknown. And we actually see Mizuki pushing for information there. Ceases will capitalize. So now CyberZeN are in a horrible position. Do they go A or do they stay on A, or do they go towards B?
He's still got Flamey lurking towards A. He's trying to keep people busy. They're going for a quick peek, not getting any significant engagements. So that's going to keep 2 players, almost 3, for the CyberZeN team over towards A. And once Advent goes down, should he go down, this round is pretty much going to be over, because he is swarmed by 3 players now. No kills for him. Now we'll see what the CyberZeN team will do. Zoking in a choke point, going to get taken down from the window. So there are 2 CyberZeN players left, and indeed it seems the abandon has been called. But I was going to say, when Na'Vi were in mid, there was no vision of mid from CyberZeN. They had nobody close to connect, so they had 1 person playing triple, Zoking, who had he was looking over there and looking towards, I think, A slope at the same time. So really, it wasn't an optimal setup there from CyberZeN. They had nobody close short either, so they were in a position where once Na'Vi go for a push, basically, if it goes towards B, for example, they're going to be very hard-pressed to react, and we saw that. Zoking trying to do something, getting taken down through the window, an easy pick for Na'Vi, who were already well in position. By the time their last play goes down on B, they've got a guy who pushed all the way through short onto B, and they've got 2 players above him, so they're already basically in post-plant positions, pretty much.
So now Na'Vi, they only have to deal with what is a bit of a scrappy buy from CyberZeN. They've managed to get Kevlar helmet on most players. 5-7s are in play. Bit of a mid-take as well. So CyberZeN, they're going to be able to catch anybody here. Good flash onto Edward. I think he was spotted indeed by Advent. Advent knows that he's there. Is he going to be able to get the frag? He's going to smoke off top mid and just fall back. But it's over towards Pit where we'll find some frags here as NaVi try to make their presence into that A-bomb site. It's 2 players, so the bomb's still down in T-spawn. So CyberZeN are just reacting fully to this, thinking that the bomb is going towards A, but they don't just know that yet. And we do have the nades coming in now, and it looks like NaVi are making quick work of this defense. I do wonder, with your point as well, whether we'll continue to see plays from CyberZeN where they lack mid control, because as we saw there, what happens against a slow team like NaVi, as a CT side, you've got to make it an information play at some point, and NaVi, they're going to be waiting for that. They're going to have Guardian on the angle or somebody, and it's very risky to play that style against a slow team like NaVi.
So CyberZeN going to be on the eco now, so this is a great chance for NaVi to extend their leads. Guardian's looking to make some money with that UMP going forward. You can see Savage has made his way to the underpass. If he faces the wall there, he can't be seen by the Ts on the initial peak. You can do a pop flash there, but it's extremely awkward and takes a long time to deploy. Zeus is going to get dinked towards A slope, so he's going to have to make a run for it to stop the AK from getting into the hands of his opponents. That will be a great nade timing, and he will follow up with the bullets there, but will be unable to retain the gun. And again, CyberZeN have opted not to go for the gun here, expecting that NaVi will rotate and try and protect it, and indeed NaVi will do exactly that. Nevertheless, there's only 1 player left here for CyberZeN. With all of 4 HP, double flashes coming in, that nade will finish him off as well. So it was more or less a nothing round here for CyberZeN, and they'll be back on the buy now, although it's going to be less than ideal. We can't see it just yet.
But I want to see here, because we did see initially from CyberZeN, they did a really aggressive mid-take, and then we saw kind of the opposite of that. So we might actually see them going back to something that they felt worked, which was the aggression, but aggression always comes with more risk, generally speaking. And NaVi, very fast moving into the B so looking for a quick pick, and Adam's going to get himself out of there, gets a quick spot, tosses in the smoke, and again, we saw the last time they had a buy, CyberZeN having a buy, the round playing out like this. They deny NaVi initially, but eventually NaVi will play slow enough that CyberZeN have to go for a push somewhere to find out where they're even going to think of going with their team. Is it going to be A or is it going to be B? And then they get themselves up potentially to a picking opportunity.
Now you can see on this round, CyberZeN are playing a lot closer to connector on the A side. You can see Zoking, he was previously on triple. He's now on the connector stairs, essentially. Savage gets taken down in CPR by Guardian. And we've got a counter smoke there from the CTs, actually, but they're going to have no information as to what's going on. Advent trying a sneaky jump into the window, but that's not going to work out for him. So the bomb is still in mid at the moment with 3 players. What is the play here for NaVi? They've got a lurker towards A, a lurker towards B. Just looking for the picks. Flamey is not going to get it onto TB. Zoking, though, has gone down elsewhere in that connector area. But it's been smoked off, presumably by the Ts. We've got Zeus just charging through. Meanwhile, his teammate's going to get taken down towards B, and he's not going to get a frag onto A. So there's a CT on either side now. What is the player from NaVi? They've got 30 seconds. The bomb's still in mid at the moment. Edward in that CPL area looking to get a final pick, but it will be Guardian to take down TB. So 2 ops on the NaVi side, moving into A now. And Edward will get the final frag before Guardian can make the play with the bomb. I was wondering where Guardian was going to plant that, actually, as the time was ticking down. It wasn't really safe for him to plant it for shorts. But there we go.
Yeah, that's another one of these horrible spots where we saw CyberZeN trying to get the info on mid, but Guardian's just waiting, expectant of all these little angles to try to peek from, and he gets an easy frag. And then, he really did save his team that round, getting so many openers, but that said, now CyberZeN back onto the eco, so they've not really had many opportunities here. NaVi doing a lot of damage. We're really seeing the skill, the individual skill coming into play. CyberZeN as well, they're holding their own in some of these engagements, but it's about NaVi for sure. And now it looks like we'll see 8 rounds quite quickly. And on a map where we know that NaVi have a great CT side, this is a very scary situation for CyberZeN to be facing. And
did you see how Edward just charged through connector? He didn't bear any heed to anyone on his immediate left by connector stairs. Or the right by the jungle area. He's just being extremely reckless, and you can see NaVi now only have 3 players left. The bomb is planted, however, so it's not going to matter too much, but It seems they're extremely comfortable, and I don't think they're really respecting their opponents anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Na'Vi are going to be in this mentality too, where they know that they are the better team and the better players. Of course, that's, you know, a situation, you know, you should always be thinking that. But I mean, it can also bleed into your play style, and when when it gets to that point, it is pretty scary, because then CyberZeN could be thinking, oh, you know, Na'Vi should be doing this, and they'll completely misinterpret the situation because there's no respect there anymore, and that can be awful to play against. And
you can see how things have developed as well. Again, if we go to the, I think it was the second round where the AKs came out with the Galils or whatever round it was from Na'Vi. They went for the big buy because they didn't know what to expect, but now they will be feeling like they are somewhat familiar with their opponents, and they know what level of threat they feel like they pose. So now they don't give a monkey's damn.
Indeed. Indeed. So, rough start so far for CyberZeN. They are back in with a bye. Perhaps this can be a bit of a turning point for them. We'll have to see. Na'Vi are going with a lot of pressure here towards A. We might see a faster round from them. They just have one lurker in middle, moving up short, but there's a lot of players here for CyberZeN who could be discovering him soon. It is seized in mid, creeping up short, and in goes CyberZeN.
Teammate on short.
Oh, and Seize will go down, actually. Looks like Masuki was able to catch him just barely through the smoke. And Na'Vi actually deciding not to split the players up after having 4 towards A initially. It feels like they've changed the call here. The bomb is down towards T-spawn still.
Yeah, looking at Zeus's positioning a little bit earlier on, it looks like they're just running out looking for picks now. So Na'Vi not really executing Na'Vi style at present, although they are a man down. So on the buy rounds, I think they're going to have to have a bit more respect for the Chinese team. There is Zoking again in connect. So got himself 2 frags now, but TB's been taken down by Guardian in the mid area. Down goes Zoking as well. Zeus finally coming out getting a frag for his team. There is a CT buy triple, and in fact, it's a full rotation here from the CT side. Only 2 Na'Vi players left, and the bomb's going to have to be collected. You can see it's normally left in that position by a lot of teams. But when you start to lose players on the T side, then things can get a little bit awkward when you have to go and retrieve it.
Yeah, I think in that all the space of those kills, those 2 kills from Zoking, they're starting to see some of the mechanics there from the perspective of the CyberZeN players. Obviously, they've not been making as many frags. We haven't actually been seeing their pop as much. But here we go. We get Masuki there. I love that he already turned, after not getting the immediate kill, they already turned, anticipating the other play out of the apartments. But Na'Vi still, they press onto the bomb site, making the kill. The plant needs to happen soon. Sooner rather than later. Advent goes in, and Guardian will catch him. Great cover there from Guardian with the AWP, and now it all falls onto Savage. He himself is on the AWP, but this is a very hard situation. You're up against Guardian, you're up against Zeus, and the flank is coming in as well, straight away. But there it is. Savage actually getting the fast frag there into the bomb site, but he has no idea where Zeus is going to be attacking him from. There is some time to work out. Can he get that intuition? Will he look behind himself? Absolutely not. Zeus gets the kill, saves the round there for Na'Vi, and that is another one on the board, making it 9 now.
Bit of a landslide for Na'Vi at the moment, which is a big problem for CyberZeN. This is a best of 3. I think this was the pick of CyberZeN, if I'm not mistaken. So that does not bode well. I mean, obviously, we know these are good maps for Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're all Na'Vi maps, right?
Yeah, so the future does not necessarily look bright for CyberZeN, but time will tell. It's not over just yet. They are back on the buy once more. They have some nades. They have some smokes, a lot of counter flashes. But we'll see if Na'Vi can bait them out. A lot of time on the clock for them to do so. We've got Masuki just going for some shoulder peeks towards top mid. But as you can see, he's a bit wary of the underpass there. Nobody really covering his angle. They have the AWP into Savage. And a little from his position on the minimap, I think he was standing on the wooden block to look at people coming from the underpass who jump up to try and catch the AWPer. But should he be able to get an angle on top mid, then his teammate could look into underpass from short, and that would be a lot more comfortable for the team.
I mean, if CyberZeN are able to get 6 rounds as well, I mean, we don't know what to expect from their T side, so perhaps that could be something for them to work with. But here we go, we've got Na'Vi now starting to press. There's the first frag. Great entries there from Zeus. 2 fast headshots, and now Na'Vi are well and truly into this bomb site. There's one more player lurking, and Zeus looking to get the play. He pulls out the Molotov. Looks like he wanted to make TB eat that one, but it's going to be eventually the trade. And Na'Vi just sweeping inside the chaos.
I'm guessing he pressed Q and the Molotov came out because he probably had it readied for a molly down there. Gotta hate it when that happens.
And I mean, that really just goes to show as well, you know, if NaVi are maybe faltering or not making the perfect decision strategically, we're going to get this. Boom. Entry after entry. Zeus just wrecking the entire CyberZeN team there by himself pretty much until the awkward moment we might just be about to see. A little bit awkward. But there you go. NaVi 10-3 into the next round and everyone's dead, James.
Yeah, everyone is indeed dead. So we'll just wait for the next round to start.
I mean,
and there we go.
I think we saw a bit of a force by there. It looked like there was...
All I saw is one person alive there, and I have no idea what just happened.
Although they've lost a lot of rounds in a row, so a bit of a quasi-buy there for them. They should have a full buy now. And we'll be seeing that.
Show me the buy. Show me the buy. Let me see the buy. Over to the buy.
There you go. So yeah, there it is indeed.
Oh, so they've got quite a good amount of nades. Mizuki's even gone for a taser, whatever that thing's called. I don't even know what it's called. I don't think I've ever bought that in a competitive match.
It's called a Zeus.
Ah, there we go. Yes. It's called a Zeus. Right.
Because
see Guardian going for the shoulder peek there. But it's not going to go far enough. Savage taking him down. This is a round that CyberZeN desperately need. But will they be able to get it? Zoking again playing close to connector. He's got Savage in for support now. He was presumably looking towards the Palace position. But again, NaVi, I wouldn't say they're going to get mid for free because obviously it's cost them Guardian at the very least, but they've got Edward in top mid at the moment and then Zeus bottom mid. Zeus is going to go down, so CyberZeN in a really good position now. So he tried to pop flash himself out, got a player in for support, so they're going to trade. That's very good teamwork from the two players there. 4 versus 1 now, Advent using that sneaky position. It's very hard to pre-fire as a T, leaving Flamey as the last man standing. I presume he's heard him, and there he goes. So CyberZeN will take the 4th round for them, but they will be at a 7-round deficit to NaVi.
Yeah, and it's a very rough situation. There's no denying that. And you know, you're going into one of NaVi's best maps as well. Again, a top 3, top 4 team in Tier 1. So it's always going to be tough. It's always going to be tough. We did see, of course, some good execution there from CyberZeN in many different instances, but NaVi really hitting their shots as well. And they're not showing any fear. They're showing, in fact, a bit of a lack of respect in some cases. And if you are much superior individually, you're gonna have problems there. So, I mean, obviously the pistol round is a must, obviously, but I still don't see how this is gonna go well for CyberZeN.
Well, let's see what they have to offer. Obviously, we haven't seen much of them, so we don't know if their CT side is their strong side or if their T side is their strong side. So who knows? And this is where they can really take the initiative. You know, should they win the pistol, etc. This is where they can take the initiative and try and surprise NaVi. And this is where it might be harder for NaVi to react because obviously, being the aggressors, they can just go around and shoot them as they did once they got themselves comfortable. But now, if they again, this is the pick of CyberZeN. So if they have some strats in the bag that NaVi can't expect, then they could get some momentum going. If they switch things up at the right time, who knows? Again, they have to face off against Guardian, which is always an issue for every team.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Guardian, I mean, he's the best AWPer in the world. He just is.
I will admit he's better than me, yes.
Okay, well, 4-11 is the score. We're about to be jumping into the second half. NaVi with an overwhelming advantage on the better side, many would say, on this map. But let's have a look at the strategy. We've got 3 Kevlars for CyberZeN and a couple smokes and a couple flashes here. So they're going to execute into the A-bomb site. And mostly Kevlars here for NaVi. They're looking to fight.
Yeah, so there's no early information for NaVi in the sense that there's no aggressive pushes. Their B players are going to have a long rotation here. So it looks like we're going to have a smoke execute, but what kind of smoke execute will it be here for the T side? And will they push through CT or something if they can make it? You can see them pushing all the way through to jungle, actually, and taking connector as well. So very nice play by CyberZeN, but can they hold? Edward takes down Zoking towards jungle, but I like the idea. There's one more player to contend with, but he's going to get taken down by Edward as well. So we can see it's a 5 versus 3 retake here for the NaVi side. And the bomb's been planted default, which is a really bad plant for the T's, especially considering the positions of the final players. Advent gets taken down in the firebox as well, and the rest of them are going to get absolutely wrecked. So again, one thing... Oh, go on, Dan.
Yes, so the thing there is that... So I like... So there's the 2 problems here. Oh, 2 things here. CyberZeN, the strat that they went with, they smoke off connector and CT spawn. And the problem there is that as a T's, if you really want to, like, guarantee that you try to win the round, you need to push those 2 areas. But if you smoke them, you can't do that. But what it does allow you to do if you smoke them is you guarantee the bomb plant. So you're at least guaranteed that even if you lose the pistol round, and let's say you're against better players, and you don't think you're going to win the Angels, that at least you get the AK buy-in on the 3rd round. So I actually like that call from them.
Which call?
To smoke off the forward positions to guarantee the bomb plant.
Sure.
But
you can. I mean, there are ways to flash through the smoke. Like it can be done, and they just unfortunately got shot in the face by Edward, but it was very nice and
perfect retake from
those of you
NaVi.
at home. I was bitching about this yesterday on Twitter actually, saying that people at home in pugs and so on, they're like, okay, shall we do A smoke? But then there's no plan after that. They don't try and push jungle connector as you just saw CyberZeN try to do. I'm going to talk through the secret round because they didn't buy anything and they're probably going to get wrecked, as you're seeing. So again, it's very important you don't just throw smokes and then plant the bomb and then you have no idea what you're doing after that. Try and take CT, try and take some significant map control to make it difficult for the CT to retake. But again, ideally, you want to plant behind the triple boxes, not behind default, because then you can defend the bomb from T-slope. You saw there was a player for CyberZeN on Tetris and a player on T-slope, and neither of those players can stop a diffuser from coming in the default plant spot. But if it's planted for triple, then you have a lot more options available to you.
And now we'll see the buy from CyberZeN. So, oh no, sorry. Oh, interesting.
It's a half buy.
That's quite interesting because they got the bomb plant, didn't really buy in the following rounds. They should have been able to get some AKs out here, but perhaps they just want to have full grenades.
Yeah, well, if they're execute heavy, then that would help. But the pop flash is coming in, and that's going to allow Flamey to take an initial frag, and that may give the game away that NaVi are looking to. Sorry, that CyberZeN are looking to execute based on Zoking's position. Mizuki though made his way onto the side. 2 frags for him with the Tech 9. He's going to do some good damage here. He uses it in the rear with the gear though, leaving TB alone, who's picked up the bomb and an M4, and he's got Kevlar. He's going to leg it. C's will maybe be able to upgrade his gun, just carrying the MP9 for the moment, though that could do the job here, CyberZeN not having a helmet.
So this is really annoying for NaVi because obviously
TB not having a helmet, sorry.
He can be anywhere. He can be absolutely anywhere at any time. So NaVi deciding that, okay, we want to split up instead of playing together for a guaranteed trade. And there's obviously very many ways you can handle this. And TB's made his way through middle now. He's going through connector. And so C's will be the point of contact for NaVi. And TB, will he try to clear through CT or will he just go for the plant? If he goes for the plant straight away without clearing CT, then C's will know where he is. And he's going to go for the clear here into CT. C's is awaiting his position. And, oh no, he looks away but still gets the kill. And in fact, it's a real chance now here for TB with the bomb down and Edward en route.
Yeah, he has to get a kill before planting the bomb there because there's no way that the site is empty. But he did great to give himself a 1 versus 1. NaVi having to split up. And here we go. Edward's on the hunt now. And TB's in a position where he can't hide if he gets spotted. He's got to get the kill here. And again, he doesn't have a helmet, so he's got to be on point. And no, he's going to get taken down by Edward. So a very valiant effort there from the final CyberZeN player, but NaVi will prevail.
But getting the bomb down and considering the round loss bonus, they're actually going to have, they should have a buy here as well. Because they kind of, I mean, they did sort of like almost a forced buy in the previous round to that. So we should be able to see something decent from CyberZeN, I think. Unless they want to go for another Quasi to have another really full set of grenades with all the weapons and maybe an AWP in there as well. But 14-4, there's no time to really be messing around with that. We're going to see Guardian and C's both on AWPs here. And Edward pushing aggressively, or trying to push aggressively. He messes up. I think he got hit by a nade there. Did that block his jump?
Might have. Well, let's see the initial setup here for CyberZeN. They've got 3 players over towards the A site. So we've got Mizuki moving through the underpass and Savage in top mid. You can see CPL is smoked off as well, but Mizuki found himself a sneaky angle, not getting a frag. They're going to get taken down by Mizuki, and that's the plan. They wanted to get connector here. It looks like they're going for a standard A split, and they're starting to move in on the A site now as well.
And Edward he really wants to get himself in that mid area for some fragging. But he's kind of alone here as now the rest of the CyberZeN pushing up through connector. Guardian is there to put the stop down. The plant will still be made though by Advent, so giving his team an opportunity here. Now the CT's, because the bomb is down, they have to move. That's a big deal. Edward trying to bust out a short, but it gets shut down by Savage. 2 players in mid here for CyberZeN. Guardian's going to have to get this done up close and personal with his AWP. Gets shot straight in the face. And now C's is getting caught off guard as well. So it looks like CyberZeN are going to save themselves here unless Flamey does something outrageous. But it's very unlikely from this position now. They know where he is. He's on low HP, just below half, and CyberZeN are close in around his position.
It's still early on, but I think that it's probably going to be the fact that CyberZen's T side is their stronger side. Just the way they set that round up, obviously they got a bit fortunate with the first kill into connector, because the guy from underpass should have probably gone down, but the positioning, the way they planted with the cover in connector and the smoke on short and the post-plant positioning as well, stopping the rotations of a player on short and connector, was very nice. So it seems that CyberZeN will have something to show us here. But again, NaVi on 14 rounds already means that CyberZeN don't have much room for error. Edwards moved his position very quickly with that smoke coming into CPL, so he's made himself useful, which is great.
Indeed, but here it is, Edward wanting to get aggressive. Doesn't want to take an engagement versus two players at once. Smart stuff, backs away. NaVi looking to really just screw over CyberZeN by trying to win this round with their buy and just shut down CyberZeN out of this map completely.
Interestingly, CyberZeN have no lurker towards A this time, but they're going for the same connector take. So is this going to throw NaVi off kilter here? They've still got two people over towards the B bomb site, so they're not making any hard reads just yet, it seems.
Yeah, Mizuki clearing the close positions on connector, showing his presence there, but looks like he doesn't even want to hold connector to be a lurker. In fact, he's going towards back towards T spawn here. Interesting movement from CyberZeN as they do have the B plate set up more or less, and he's looking to cover the flank. So CyberZeN now creeping in. NaVi none the wiser, but now they've realized what's going on. Really good play from CyberZeN to push NaVi back and make it so they don't know until the last second, but Seas is in with the first defensive kill, gets the second one as well as CyberZeN try to charge into this site, but NaVi with a fast response time are looking fantastic for this defense.
Yeah, C's got a great flash through the smoke there, which we'll come to later. There's still a lot to fight for here. There's a full rotation coming in from NaVi, and the longer CyberZeN take, the harder it's going to be because the reinforcements are streaming in, but the frags are going the way of CyberZeN. Down to 2 versus 2. C's has only got 5 HP here, but Flamey is doing all the damage for his team and has cleaned them up. The street sweeper just wiping them off the floor there. So there was a player on the site for CyberZeN, but when that smoke came in, C's managed to get a flashbang through the window, which stopped the support for that player coming in. Then he took him down in isolation. So C's with that flash got himself a 1 versus 1. Then another 1v1 with the player emerging on towards the balcony area. So great work done by him, and a great follow-up from Flamey with his teammate only on 5 HP.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a really tough hit for CyberZeN with such limited equipment. They'll go for a quick A execute, though. The set play will come in momentarily as we see the nades about to soar through the sky, the blue skies. Here on Mirage, there is the smoke for CT. And NaVi, in seeing that smoke, they know what's going on. The rotation already happening. They already have a player in middle. Already 3 players pretty much there. Flamey standing large and in charge up on top of the toll booth. And now Zeus comes in. It's his turn to play as well with the FAMAS. That's exactly what he does. 3 frags for him. 2 for Flamey, and that is a 16-5. CyberZeN have been crushed on map number 1 between these two teams. Mirage did not go their way.
I would have liked to have seen more from CyberZeN on their T side. You almost wonder if they should have started on the T side, because I think they were just overwhelmed by the skill of NaVi on CyberZeN CT side, but their T side had, you know, they showed some nice things.